Hey guys, this is Megan from lipstickskulls.blogspot.com. This is my very first tutorial and I'm really happy and nervous all at the same time. But I know once I get this one under my belt, I'm only going to want to do more and more. I really didn't think I had the need to do video tutorials, but after looking back at some of my previous makeup posts, I realized that it was, probably the best way to go. So with that being said, I wanted to show you today one of my favorite everyday work looks. I like that something like this, you can either go one way and do kind of neutral on the eyes, and people say don't use liners during the day when you're at work, but then other people say you do. I, for one, love lipsticks, so I'm going to show you a neutral eye with a bright lipstick that goes perfect with the summer weather. As you can see, I already have on my foundation base, and since I'm kind of focusing more on my eyes and my lips, I went ahead and cut that out of the video because it would take forever, and if you really want to see it, I can show you that next time. But I do want to give you a quick rundown of the products that I used. First things first, moisturizer. This is a key player with any makeup that you apply to your face. I personally use Neutrogena Oil-Free Moisture for sensitive skin. I kind of have some crazy face issues going on at the moment, so this works really well. The foundation that I use is a Clinique Even Better, liquid foundation in ivory, and that makes me cringe just a little bit saying that I'm ivory, but truthfully I am in the winter, and in the summer once I do get sun I should probably switch to a different shade, but now it's working. I have a translucent powder that I'll put over this, and it's got a little bit darker color, and I can use bronzer, so there's several ways I can still use this and get my money's worth since I just bought it like a month ago. I also use a concealer under my eyes and to brighten up different areas around my face, like here and here. And this is also a Clinique product, and it is Even Better Concealer in Buttermilk. And as you can see, it's a creamy concealer, and it works really, really well to brighten. As you can see, I've already got it here. The next product that I use is a MAC product. It's something I've had in my makeup bag for years, and I use this to touch up different spots. And it is a Studio Finish Concealer NC20, and it's very, very, very similar to that Clinique stuff. Like I said, I just use that for under my eyes, and I use this for different spot treatments. The next thing I use, I just happened to get convinced to buy this when I was at the MAC counter. It is a paint pot in Painterly. I only use this as my eyeshadow base. I love it. I didn't used to use this, but this really, really helps keep your eyeshadows on throughout the day. And then once I'm done with everything, I'll set everything with this translucent powder. It is CoverGirl Professional Loose Powder in Translucent Medium. So like I said a little second ago, this is something that gives me a little extra color. The next thing I used was Sephora Bronzing Powder in Los Cabos. This is one of my new favorite purchases. I did not used to use bronzer, but over several weeks and looking into maybe the idea of this being my career, makeup artistry, several of the girls had recommended finding a bronzer that was gray based and that had no sparkle whatsoever, so matte. And the reason that is, bronzer is used to sink in your features. So if you have an but if you have a white face, you can, put the bronzer all around here. The good thing to contour your cheeks, you can put it right here, and I would suggest starting, about the middle of your ear and angling it down towards the corner of your lip and blending up from that line. So once that is done, then I put on some blush, and I have, this is also one of my most recent splurges, but it is NARS Orgasm, and it is one of those, peachy, shimmery blushes that goes well with any skin color. My skin color is more yellowy and olive, and I've used this on my coworker that's really, really fair skinned, and it worked really well with her as well. And then the last thing I used with what I have on now is a highlighter, And this I got in a birthday gift from Sephora, and it is by Benefit, and it's called What's Up. And it's just a little stick. It's kind of a champagne-y color. I was trying to see if it had a color name on the back, but I don't think it does. Just says soft focus highlighter. Anyway, it's a highlighter, and I used it here along my cheekbone and smudged it in kind of in that C shape, and then along my nose. And then if your lips aren't, you know, the plumpest or the fullest as you would like, you could put it here in your Cupid's bow, but my lips are already pretty full, so I didn't put any there. So what I wanted to show you before I get started on the eyeshadows, this is my other new revolutionary makeup trick. It is brow eyeshadow, pretty much. This is called Lorac Take a Brow, and it is in brunette. And it has 2 colors in here plus this little wax stuff. As you can see, since my hair is a little on the darker side, I use this darker one, but I don't fill it in to the fullest. And I'll show you that in just a second. So I don't have one of those makeup wands with me, so I just kind of brush my eyebrows up and out as best as I can. And then several makeup artists will tell you to start your eyebrow line, to make a line on the bottom here and trace it. But I don't like that. On me personally, I feel it looks harsh. So what I do, I start here on the edge and then work my way out. So that kind of starts my outline as opposed to, you know, going up and over from the bottom. And I fill it in so it looks as natural as possible. It's times like these I wish I did have that mascara wand, because my eyebrows are kind of long at the moment. So I just keep filling in and filling in. And if I do want it to look a little more outlined here, like I said, as opposed to making a line this way, I will turn the brush like this and kind of go up and just do it just a little bit at a time, and that softens it up, but it still fills in that bottom side. Okay. And then the other side, I don't know if you guys can tell, but my eyebrows are different shapes and the hair grows at different angles. This one on this side kind of goes up and out. This one I feel like goes straight that way. So this is a perfect part of your makeup kit that you can adjust and make them more even. Or if they're thin, if you got, you know, pluck happy, tweezer happy, then you can use it for those purposes as well. So just a little bit down here, and I think I'm just about done with my brows. Okay. And I don't use the wax. If you want to, if you're out in the sun all day, or if you're going to be at a water park and don't want it to run, which I haven't had issues with that yet, you could use this wax stuff and it just sets it and holds it in place. Okay. And the eyeshadow that I'm going to be working with today is an Urban Decay palette called Naked. And it is one of my favorite purchases. It has some gorgeous, gorgeous colors. Try not to blind you with the light there. I'm just going to use 4 different colors. Like I said, I want to keep this kind of neutral because I have kind of a bright color for my lips today. So let's get started. I will use my finger and get this color right here called Sidecar. And I'm just going to swipe it all along my lid. I'll go on to the next eye. Sephora had a, that's where I purchased this, was at Sephora. They had a knockoff brand, one of their store brands, that was just like this palette. Had the same colors, had the same amount of colors. But when, you know, I put it on my wrist to compare, there was no comparison. That one was cheap looking. No offense to Sephora. It's probably good quality if you don't know anything different. But after seeing this one and looking at it, I knew I just had to get it. For my crease color, I'm going to use this right here. It's called Toasted. And I'm going to use this blending brush by MAC. It's number 224. I am just going to apply it right here in my crease, and I'm going to blend and blend and blend some more. The good thing about these brushes, especially with it being as thick as it is, it's hard to mess up. And I don't want too much of a, drastic, like hard line here. So it makes it very, very soft. Okay. I'm just gonna go over to this side and do the same thing. Blend all the way from right to left. And then usually what I do is I kind of take a second, look back, and see if they're both looking similar. Which this one didn't look similar, so I just added a little bit more over here. Okay. Then this color on the end, I almost forgot to add the highlighter under my brow. It's called Virgin. And I'm gonna use my pinky and just swipe it all the way under the brow on both sides. I usually have a brush to put this part on with, but I cannot find it. So I'm just taking my brush and make sure that that's still blended and that this color and this color is not too drastic of a line. I'm also going to get this brush. It is a MAC 219. And I am going to get this Toasted color that I used. Actually, I'm going to start with the sidecar color that we used for the eyelid. And I'm going to swipe it underneath my lash line. This is, sort of taking the place of an eyeliner. And since this is an everyday work look, this still gives some definition to my eyes without closing them up and looking small. And that's what eyeliner on the bottom does a lot of times. Okay, and the last thing that I wanted to do with this eyeshadow is put a little bit here on the inside corners of my eyelids, and that brightens it up. So I'm going to use this color right here. It's called Sin. And I'm putting it on the inner corner. And if it gets here on the bottom part, that's fine. It'll still make it open up and make your eyes pop. Okay. The next thing I'm gonna do is pull out my eyeliner. This is a liquid liner by e.l.f. It's just called black, no special colors. If you're not too good at liquid liners, which I know it takes some practice sometimes, one of my other favorite pencils is this Rimmel Exaggerate Full Color Eye Definer in Noir, which is just black. It's a retractable pencil, and it goes on really, really smooth. So if you're afraid of making mistakes, that one's super easy to fix. This one, like I said, takes a little bit of practice. But once you get the hang of it, it comes pretty naturally. And I don't want this line to be super thick, because I want my the focus to be on my lips. Okay. That eye is done. And this one is the same thing. Make it as thin as you can get it. Just gonna wing it out just a smidge. done with that, on to mascara. The mascara that I'm using also came in the birthday gift with this WhatsApp stuff. It's another Benefit product. It's mascara. It's called They're Real, and it is some really amazing mascara. I have been, usually using stuff like, Maybelline, Mega Lush, Mega Plush Volume Express lashes, but this I can use one coat, makes them long, it makes them thick. This one I have to use like 2 or 3 coats. That's the good thing. The bad thing about them is that it takes a little more effort to get off when you're washing your face. But if that's the worst of my problems, then I think I'm doing pretty good. So just get your curler and curl your lashes for about 10 or 15 seconds. However long you feel that it will take to curl your lashes. There are companies now that make curlers with heaters in them, and that scares me. I do not like the idea of burning my eyelid, because that's all I can think about is getting it close enough to curl my lashes, and I get too close and my eyelid burns off in pain. So I will stick to just the regular metal curler. But if that works for you, then more power to you. And I'm sure your lashes look amazing. I could theoretically put on 2 coats, but I usually for work just do 1. If I were going out, I would probably do a 2nd coat. But for today, I will just do 1. Okay. One more eyeball. Then we can get onto lipstick, because that's my favorite part. So curl, curl, curl for about 10 or 15 seconds or longer, whatever you're comfortable with. I haven't always used eyelash curlers, and I just now, about a month ago, got back in the habit of it. So if you have a better way of doing this, then go for it. So if I go ahead and tell you about this lipstick, I guess I might as well. It is a Maybelline product, and they came out with some new colors this summer, and they're all like neons, so they are really bright. They had some like bright corals and bright pinks, but honestly it was like the color of my lips, or of my nails. So if you can imagine putting this on my lips, I would probably stick out like a sore thumb from like miles away. So I chose a color that was still bright, but it was more of the fuchsia magenta color. So I'm really happy with it. I'm gonna like wear it everywhere. Okay, last but not least, ta-da-da. This is it, and no, it's not the color of this case. It is, what is this? Maybelline New Vivids Color Sensational Lipstick in number 900 Hot Plum. Isn't it gorgeous? I'm super excited about it. Okay, so, like I said, it's still kind of a bright color without being neon. Okay. There you have it. This is one of my favorite everyday work looks. Kind of a neutral eye and bright lips.